Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ethan with HustlePaintball.com, and what I've got here is a Q loader system. This is a Q loader SSI, and it's Q loaded already, so it's built in to take the Q pods. You load these up with paint, and they feed an insane rate of fire. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the system, kind of help you shorten that learning curve a bit, because this is a great system if you know how to use it, and if you don't, it can be really frustrating. So take a look, and I'll break it down for you. I'm going to start with a brief overview of the different parts. This is a Q loader feed silo, holds approximately 500 paintballs, and it's what you dump your paint into to help you load your Q pods. Got the feed hose, and this is your Q loader reload socket. Lock your Q pod in there, and this is what you use to wind and load your Q pods. Now each Q pod holds 100 paintballs and is driven by a spring-loaded system. What that means is that on gun, this is going to feed at least 30 balls a second, and off gun, these things can do up to 100. It's just crazy. That also means that regardless of orientation, upside down, backwards, whatever you do, it's not going to have any problems feeding. If you have your gun upside down, it doesn't matter because it doesn't rely on gravity in any way. It's all springs. What I've got here is Q Loader's SSI. And what's special about this gun is the Q loader port's built into the gun. It doesn't come out of a feed neck, it's not coming out of the side. They eliminate all the frills and they get it down as lean and mean as possible. As you can see, perfect on top for optics. You can look right over the top, you can put a scope, red dot, it really doesn't matter. So if you're really looking to go hardcore Q loader, this might be an option for you. But if you're not, you may want to look at getting a mod kit. Now I'm not going to show you too in depth with the mod kits, but I do want to show you briefly how they work. Basically, something like a Project Salvo here, what you do is you just replace the feed neck with this Q loader mod kit. Comes with some extra hardware, a socket and everything like that. Run your hose, mount it to the bottom of the gun, and that allows you to convert your existing paintball gun, which you already have, already love, into a Q loaded, in this case, Project Salvo. Now, there are mod kits available for the TM series from BT, the 98 and Custom Pro, the X7s, the Phenom, the A5, Tiberius, Spider, and then of course you can get a universal kit. If your gun has a mod kit available for it, I highly suggest going for it already. That way you don't have like a feed net coming out and a hose going up and around. It's just going to be a lot more streamlined. Now something to keep in mind, it's not the case with the Project Salvo, but the X7 and the A5 for instance, if you do the Q loader mod kit to those, you actually end up having to replace your right side receiver if you ever decide to take the Q loader system off your gun. Not really a big deal, however it's something to keep in mind. Before you buy a mod kit, always check. You'd hate to think that you can just pop on your normal hopper and then find out, man, I gotta buy a new right-hand receiver. Most of them you don't have to, but they may be coming out with other mod kits in the future. So I don't want to say for sure that the A5 and the X7 are the only ones. So let's show you how to load these puppies. We'll go from there. Okay, to load your Q pods, it's pretty simple. I've got the silo all loaded up and it's hanging above me, so I don't really have to worry about that. It'll be easier to show you. There's a white mark and a notch on your Q pod. Put that in the feed silo, line that up. Now you can force it in, you shouldn't. Line that up so it goes in nice and good. Twist it, and what that'll do, that'll allow you to start feeding paintballs in. Slowly start rotating. Now the thing is, with the particular orientation of my feed silo, it's not feeding paint into the tube that well. So you want to keep an eye on it because you do not want to be twisting this while your feed tube is empty. Go ahead and load it up all the way. Some people actually prefer to put a motorized hopper on the top of this just to make their loading a little bit easier. That's especially helpful if you and a bunch of buddies all have Q loaders. It also comes with a strap. You can put it over your shoulder. The reason I chose not to do that for this video is just because it kind of got in the way and it's a little bit hard to see. I've got this thing on my shoulder, but that works pretty well. Keep in mind, you still may have to shake it to get paint to feed in the tube, because again, do not, if this tube is empty, do not twist this. You will preload this. I'll show you how to get out of that jam, but that's a great way to break paint in your pods, and trust me, it's one of the most frustrating things ever. Once that's done, you may have one paintball that drops, but you have a fully loaded Q pod. Now I'm going to show you what happens if you incorrectly load your pod. I'll show you how to get out of it. Now, by the way, this can only spin one way, so if you're going the wrong way, it doesn't move, go the other way. Easy does it though. And what you'll see, load and paint, and then for some reason I get carried away and decide to keep twisting this while there's no paint in the feed tube. Bad life decision. Take that off, and what you'll have is you're actually going to have paint to about here, or however you load it, and then there's going to be a gap of about 15 balls worth in this case. If you went farther than that, it'd be a horrible situation. Like I said, please don't do this, but in case you notice gaps, or in case you notice a big gap like that, this is how to get out of it. Now what I've got here is a standard Q loader feed socket. This is what I'm going to use to hopefully rescue us from this bad situation where we've got a pod incorrectly loaded. Now, what happens when you line these up, put it in, and twist, that actually activates the Q pod so that it allows the spring tension to feed the paint out. Now what happens, since there's a gap here in paint, as soon as I click this in, the drive spring is going to start swinging these around. It's going to come to a sudden stop, and when paintballs move quickly and they come to a sudden stop, they break. So pay attention closely here. What you want to do is, I'm using a plastic bag because it's going to catch it nice and softly. You want to have some place to catch your paint, of course, and then line it up, get ready, and you want to push it in and immediately twist and lock it in place. What that does is that allows the paint to go straight out of the pod into your bag, and you're all fine. So let's see how this works. All right, no broken paint. I'm good. Now, if I wouldn't have twisted, it would have just rammed it up, and you would have had broken paint in your Q pod and your socket. So it would have been pain. For those of you guys who are curious just how fast this thing feeds, this is 100 paintballs. Get ready to count. Pretty quick. All right, we're out here. I'm just going to show you how quick and easy it is to go through the end of one pod and load up the next one. So we pretty much covered everything. I've showed you the different parts, talked about how they work, showed you how to correctly load your Q pod, and I've showed you how to get out of a jam in case you incorrectly load a Q pod. Trust me, it's probably going to happen, and at least this way you can get out of it paint-free. Life is beautiful. So a troubleshooting tip I do want to give you is, on a rare event that you have everything set up, you got your Q pod in the socket, you got paint in the feed tube, and you're winding it up and paint is going in either not at all or real inconsistently and leaving gaps, you might want to try using smaller bore paint. That's a problem we came across. It's really, really rare, but it's super frustrating. So I want to mention that too. So check out your marker. Chances are there is a mod kit available for it. Like I said, I would definitely go with a mod kit rather than trying to do the universal if that is an option. If not, no worries, universal it up. No big deal. Beautiful thing about this is that it feeds ridiculously high rates of fire. It doesn't matter if you have your gun sideways, upside down, right side up, it's going to feed the same rate of fire. You get nothing on top of your gun, so you can put optics, you can look straight over it like a real gun. It's much more comfortable to shoot, and you know what? This is really a great system. I gotta stress this though. Watch this, study it, know it, read your owner's manual. They've got a great owner's manual, lots of pictures, really detailed. Trust me, take the time to know the system inside and out. If you don't, something's going to break, you got broken paint inside this, you're just going to hate it. If you do, you're going to love it. It's going to work really, really well. So if you have any other questions, just let us know. Email us at support@hustlepaintball.com, or you can also send us suggestions for other videos to do. So thanks again for watching. Remember, you can get all this gear at hustlepaintball.com.